It's the all-new Ripley Vikings collection, available only at SwifTeesApparel.com.
Like what you see? You can become a sponsor too. It's easy. Go to mtmedia304.com, then click on the Support the Streams button. Choose your level of sponsorship and you're ready to go. Mountaintop Media, your vision through our lens.
he was showing some emotion, showing some physicality, and showing that he wasn't going to be pushed around down there anymore. And that, to me, Jeff, I think could be a telling sign of how good this team can be if he plays like that night in and night out.
Oh, it was terrific. I mean, yeah, he got a technical foul, but, you know, he had been beat on and banged all night long, and they were letting him play in there, and he made a nice little power move and finished it off, and we've got to get him some guns, though. He's got to make that pose. We got to have that just rippling effect there. But, yeah, he finally came to life, and it brings everybody else with him, and we need that tonight from the get-go.
Free throws, turnovers, again, those two aspects must improve if this team wants to get where they want to be long-term. It feels like we beat that dead horse every season. We had that issue last year, and it's showing itself here early on in the season again.
The free throw shooting's a little baffling to me. We shoot the ball too well not to be able to knock down our free throws, and we really need to work on that. The turnover bug, mainly inexperience, Brian. We have some kids out there that haven't played a whole lot of varsity minutes, but they're growing up, and when you have those growing pains, you have those turnovers. So hopefully tonight we'll clean it up a little bit. We'll get our inside-out game going early and see what happens. This Scott team evidently can put up some points. We didn't know a whole lot about them until they played Point Pleasant last night. And, man, I thought they were going to hit the century mark.
Well, they put 92 points up last night. The Vikings cannot afford to get off to a start like they did Thursday night against the Generals. And also, what was that, Tuesday night against Point Pleasant. They got off to a slow start as well. They got to remedy that here tonight.
Yeah, I like the outcome of the Point Pleasant game a whole lot better, but you're exactly right, partner. They cannot get that very, very slow start. They've got to come out with a little fire in their belly, and I think that's what Coach Parsons is looking for. And who's going to be that guy? I mean, is it going to be Johnson? Is it going to be, one of the guards? One of our seniors going to step up, Crawford or somebody like that? We'll see.
He's changing the starting lineup a little bit tonight, sliding the freshman Cade Good in there, looking for a little more of a boost offensively to start. My concern is, Jeff, he gave us such a good boost off of the bench. Now somebody's going to have to pick up the slack coming in with the twos.
Yeah, I think maybe Coach Parsons is rolling the dice a little bit here to see if we can get a first quarter boost out of him. We can't continue to dig holes like we have in the past. So maybe the excitement of starting, maybe he's the guy that gets us going. I don't know, but something's got to change a little bit as far as the first period of play for the Vikings. And Coach Parsons, early in the season, he's going to roll the dice a little bit here and see how the freshman reacts.
Good and Johnson have been the two guys that have been in double figures the majority of the season. We have to get a third. I think you talked about it in the last game. It doesn't matter in particular who it is. It doesn't have to be the same person every night. We have to have at least one more guy step up, get into double figures on a nightly basis to give us a chance to get where we want to be able to compete with Nitro, to be able to compete with Winfield, to be able to beat Point Pleasant like we know we have to again when we get in sectional play. Somebody's got to step up.
Yeah, and you got to look at the matchups and see where the weakness is to probably determine who that's going to be. As I said, it could be different. It could be Joey Ramsey one night. He might have a mismatch down on the low post and be able to exploit whoever's guarding him. It may be out on the perimeter where they can't guard us man-to-man. We can get by, pull up, get some jumpers, or they back off and we knock down some threes. But we've got to have that. Some way, somehow, we've got to be able to get that third person in the scoring column more often.
And we saw it in the JV game, Jeff. Maybe a guy that's going to get some more minutes at the varsity level, Brady Anderson. He had 26 points in the JV game, 3 or 4 blocks. I don't know how many rebounds. He had to have a double-double. He was a man. He was unstoppable. His power dribble on the block is as good as maybe anybody we've had here in a very long time. He's strong with the basketball. When we get against some of these physical teams, I kind of think maybe he's going to get sprinkled in there a little bit more.
You probably go back to a Dennis Fisher, and Dennis didn't have that body. He was tall, but he was slightly built. compared to Brady. Brady is, as you said, a man. He dominated that junior varsity game. They had no answer for him whatsoever when he caught it in the low post. And then on the defensive end, he was able to swat some balls away, create some runouts and easy opportunities. That was a very close ball game that our kids ended up winning 66-52, ran away with it at the end of that game. So look for him maybe to get a few more minutes and be a little spark, too, off the bench.
We made our free throws, too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
amazing.
That's what we got to do.
Jeff,
not a physical bunch in the Skyhawks here tonight, but they're all about the same size. You look at them out there on the floor, they're all hover around 6 foot, 6'1". They're going to be very active. They shoot the basketball very well. The Vikings need to play a little slower offensively. They need to get the ball into Luke. They need to play inside out. Luke should have a big game here tonight.
I would think he would. He towers above Scott's largest player. So, we've got to get the ball into him some way. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. He can't get those silly fouls, especially away from the basket in the half court by coming out and guarding somebody, getting a little excited, maybe picking up a cheap one. But, I'm watching the Scott Skyhawks warm up. They've got some skills, Brian. They handle the ball. I'm watching 13. I didn't know for sure who he was, but that's Reese Carden. He's a sophomore. He's got some handles, and he's got a shot, and he looks like he's got a little bit of swag to him, too. So, for a sophomore, let's see how he comes out of the gate tonight.
Jeff, there's one observation I noticed Thursday night with this basketball team. When we get in an offensive set in the half court, we get very stagnant. And it seems as though we passed up some opportunities in transition where we had good shot opportunities that we could have taken a quality shot, backed it out, ended up dribbling a minute off the clock and either turning it over or getting a bad shot. At some point, this basketball team's got to figure out, you get a good shot in transition, take it. Don't force it. Don't try to get something that's not there and make it be there. But if you got it, take a shot. Otherwise, pull it out and then run some offense. I think that'll help maybe get this offense going a little bit.
Couldn't have said it better, partner. We were passing up good shots to try to get a better shot and ended up taking a worse shot. And that's not a formula that we can live with, especially when we were behind like we are the other night. There comes a time when you get in transition, you got numbers, you got to take your chances and hope your guys that are trailing, if you do get a miss, can grab an offensive board and stick it back. But you just can't pull it out, slow the game down, and then, just as you said, get stagnant, stand around, and end up forcing a shot because you felt like you held it too long. So let's see if we can improve a little bit on that too as we progress here tonight.
When you have a big guy that shoots it as well from the perimeter as Luke does, also there's some opportunities in the secondary break because he's usually trailing coming down the floor. So if the immediate shot is not there for the guard getting down the floor, while the defense is scrambling, trying to find their guy or trying to get in position, a lot of times Luke can have a wide open shot in what the coaches refer to as secondary break.
I love a side break. You don't have numbers, but you still push the ball. You push it down to the corner. The backside usually is always open because everybody's doing what? Watching the basketball on this side. You get the defense to shift, and if you got Big Luke coming down on the backside, you got a mismatch. If you just swing it one time, you can lob it up to the rim, and there you go. And usually he doesn't have somebody that's pressuring him. They've got their back to him. So, I would love, as you said, see that kind of a secondary side break with that trailer. You see teams run it all the time, and in the college ranks, you see a guy coming down the lane and flushing it. So it's there.
How do we get it done tonight, Jeff?
No different than others, Brian. We got to take care of the basketball. We can't turn it over. We've got to value every possession, and I think we play inside out, especially in the beginning to see what the Skyhawks do defensively. The JV game, they played a lot of zone. Even when they were behind, they stayed in the zone, which was a little baffling. But I'm sure that they're going to try to pressure the Vikings a little bit, try to create some turnovers. We just got to be careful there. And on the defensive side, I think we show pressure. I think, our guards are good matchups with their guards, especially when we're on the defensive side, and mix it up a little bit and see if we can create some turnovers especially live ball turnovers, which usually lead to easy baskets. So I think that's the formula tonight. You can't let them score 92, though. If they score 92, they're walking out of here with a victory, because I don't know that we have the guns right now to stay with them that way.
And it's danger zone when you turn the pressure up and you're pressing the whole game. To allow that to happen, if they speed you up, then they're obviously going to be playing at a quick speed. They're going to put a lot of points up. So the Vikings do play that pressure, like you said, maybe a little bit of what you would call token pressure, just to slow them down a little bit, not necessarily looking to get steals.
Yeah, and I love it when teams do specific things off the free throws. When the opposing team's shooting a free throw, whether they make or whether they miss, or whether we make or miss when we have the ball, depends on what defense we drop back in. You can keep them baffled a little bit just by doing that. We may jump into a full court pressure on a made free throw, drop back into a 2-3 matchup zone on a miss, just so that we can create a little bit of tempo in the game and create a little bit of some mismatches. Defensively, we talk about mismatches offensively a lot, but defensively you can get mismatches too. Get the guy with the ball in the hands of the wrong guy and create a turnover.
All right, Jeff will step out. When we return, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip for tonight's game. The Scott Skyhawks in town taking on your Ripley Vikings. More after this on C98, The Bull.
The show is about to begin. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the campus of Ripley High School for tonight's game, as the Scott Skyhawks are here to take on your Ripley Vikings. At this time, we invite you to stand and to remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's meet the starting lineups. First for Scott High School. He wears number 1, a junior, Jaron Gaither. Number 5, junior, Landon Stone. Number 10, a junior, Kevin White. Number 26, a junior, Braxton Dolan. Number 13, a sophomore, Reese Carden. And the rest of the Skyhawks coached by Shane Ballard. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Ripley Vikings. He wears number 23, a freshman guard, Kay Wood. Wearing number 32, a senior forward, Hayden Hall. Number 11, a sophomore on the wing, Isaiah Pasco. Wearing number 2, a senior at the point, Caden Prophet. Wearing number 1, a sophomore in the post, Luke Team Hunt.
Gold numerals, white trim. Got it. Here's Dalton. Gonna penetrate, has it stolen away by Profit. Vikings the other way, and quickly in transition, Caden Hall gets an easy bucket.
We talked about live ball turnovers, Brian. There's the first one.
3 in the corner. They don't waste any time. That was Dolan. Can't connect. Castro quickly with the rebound. The other way, Luke misses a point-blank shot. Put back by Caden Hall, who's came out in this ball game with a quick start. 4-0, the Vikings lead it. Off the timeline, Stone has it. He goes in the corner. They're going to shoot a 3, and it's good, and he's going to the line as his feet are cut out from under him. That's Reese Carden. They play fast, Jim.
And as you said, Brian, Caden Hall getting into this game early from the get-go. And that's the thing about Luke. Even if he takes it in there and misses, Caden's always hanging around that basket. And Scott doesn't have very much size at all, so it's a great matchup for us.
4-point play by Reese Carden to tie it up. That was foul a jump shooter, right, Jeff?
No, not a good one.
Good has it. Starting for the Vikings tonight, first time in his career. Profit penetrates, 8-footer, good.
Came off that screen, Brian, and didn't hesitate as he just jumped right up from about 8 feet and knocked it down.
The pace of this game concerns me a little bit, Jeff. We're playing right into their hands. All the way to the bucket. Dolan can't connect. Hall with the rebound. Here comes Profit quickly into the front court. Reversing it back to Good. Good dribbles into the foul line. Pull-up jumper short. Goes after his own rebound. Gets it. Put back short. And it's going to be rebounded by Carden.
Good hustle by Cade, that time getting his own rebound, second shot. But here they come, and as you said, they like pushing and firing. And we're tied up at the 6-0 with 6 minutes to go here in the first period of play.
That was Kevin White on the bucket. Here's Luke on the block, pushing the back, no call, miss. Rebounded by Dolan.
Good power move that time by Johnson, just couldn't get it to fall.
Here's White with it. He goes in the far corner to Stone. Stone penetrates baseline. Reverses it back out to the right wing to Gator. Back to Dolan. Now Carden with it. Back out between the circles to White. Near corner Dolan. Back between the circles to Stone. Gator will pull up for 3. That was short. And it's going to be rebounded by Isaiah Casto.
Good job by the senior Prophet that time. Nobody stopped the ball. He just got his head down and moved it right to the front of the rim.
All 8 points so far, Prophet and Hall. Here's Dolan with it. A long 3 from White from the wing. No good. Rebounded by Carden. He can't connect. And the Vikings have it coming the other way. They turn it over. All the way to the other end, shot up, no good, rebounded and put back in by Stone.
They just keep coming at you, partner. No hesitation whatsoever by Scott Skyler.
Tied up at 8. 4:50 to go here in the first quarter. Elbow jumper from Luke, and he, very silky jump shot, Jeff, for a 6'10 guy. 10-8, the Vikings lead it. Over and back. That was a unforced error that time by Dolan.
Coach Ballard says, come on, guys, clean it up. I'm used to seeing him throw it in the backcourt. Usually it's deep in the front court before.
Well, this is a concerning pace if you're a Viking fan. We don't need to be playing at this pace with them, especially while the shots are falling, and then that kind of stuff happens with an unforced turnover. Because they're speeding you up. That's just not a pace we're accustomed to playing.
Now, it'll be interesting to see how deep Scott goes into their bench, Brian, with this type of pace they play.
Cut off, but Stone cut off, penetrates in the corner to Gator for 3. That one's too strong. Good with the rebound. quickly the other way. Good floater in the paint. It's too strong. That's rebounded by Stone, and he's going to get a layout, or an easy layup for Carden. A nice run out. An easy bucket, and we're tied back at 10.
And that proves your point. That's why you don't want to just get running up and down with them, because they trail, then they get a good outlet, and it's an easy bucket.
A near turnover there as Gator deflects it out of bounds.
And you see some of the Vikings right now kind of huffing and puffing a little bit. They're not used to this themselves.
Into the ball game is Setster. Ended Luke, left-hand layup, good. Nice pass from the sophomore Isaiah Castro. We're back on top 12 to 10, and just that quickly on the other end, Carden for 3.
He's a player. I watched him in warm-ups, man. He was doing some things with the basketball and getting himself ready to play.
You can see why they scored 92 points, because Point Pleasant likes to play fairly quick as well, and they shoot a lot of perimeter shots. Profit. Debbie got away with a travel, rebounded by Hall. His shot blocked out of bounds. Bumpus will check into the ball game. Bumpus in for Isaiah Castro. 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. Profit had a look at a three, passed it up, drops it off to Luke. A more efficient shot, the great pass by Profit. Vikings back on top 14-13. Stone between the legs dribble, driving down the paint, tied up, kicks it out to Carden in the corner. That was short. The Vikings lose track of Kevin White. He gets the rebound, and they'll get another opportunity. As Gator has it straight away, shuffled his feet, buried the three, but shuffled his feet beforehand. The Vikings are happy, leading by 1 2.
And they really look for one another, Brian, and keep that ball moving. They're aggressive, going to the boards. And when they get one, they know exactly where their teammates are going to be.
Well-coached basketball team, Jeff. You can see that here early on. Good with it. Cross in the corner to Bumpus, down the block to Luke. Power dribble, little floater, good.
He's turning, facing, squaring up his shoulders, and he looks really good early in this game.
6 points for Luke. They go in the corner for a three. No good, off the hand of White. Rebounded by Luke, stolen back by Gator. Shot up, no good by Carden, and it's rebounded by Luke, and a foul is going to be called.
Little intimidation factor there as Carden got that rebound, tried to take it up. And there was Luke Johnson, caused him to double clutch it a little bit, come up short.
Fast and furious here. Profit drives, little baseline floater, no good. Hall with a rebound. Job by Caden. Back to Good, left wing three, off the front of the rim. Rebounded out of there by Stone. Here come the Skyhawks quickly into the front court. On the wing, three on the way, that's no good. It's going to go out of bounds to the Vikings.
And Brian, their substitute into the ball game, a little cold, but shoots the air ball. And Coach Parsons wants a timeout.
30-second timeout. He's going to shuffle a few substitutes in there. It's 16-13, the Vikings lead with 1:47 to go here in the first quarter. Much better start. Vikings shooting 50% from the floor, only 2 turnovers. They are 8 of 16, Skyhawks 6 of 16 with 3 turnovers. So fairly clean game so far to this point.
Yeah, both teams, Brian, really active early. As you said, what a frenetic pace we have here to this game. And thus far, the Vikings have been able to sustain it. A little bit of substitute for the Vikings also as Profit goes out, Castro back in, and Ramsey comes into the game for Hall.
Johnson, Bumpus, Castro, Ramsey, Good. Gator, Sharps, Stone, White, and Carden for the Skyhawks. Top circle, steps into a long toot, is Good, too strong. And Stone comes out of there with the rebound.
Okay, just a little off thus far tonight with a shot short on the first couple along there.
Pretty good defense there on that end as he defended Gator. Gets the rebound, does good. Vikings back the other way with 1:15 to go in the quarter. Bumpus left of the circle, trying to get it to Johnson. Picks up his dribble. Ramsey has it, shuffles his feet. Turnover Vikings, 1:08 to go.
Bumpus is going to throw that. I mean, just lob it up there to the corner and tell him to go get it because they got nobody. They're fronting him. All he's got to do is catch and drop it in.
Skyhawks inbound to Stone, back to Gator. They'll walk across the timeline, angling toward the far sideline. Passes off to White, back to Gator, right of the circle. Trying to turn the corner, passes off to Stone for a long three. It's no good. High for the rebound is Isaiah Casto. He's going to be trapped in the backcourt. Gets it ahead to Good. Vikings have numbers. Good takes to the basket. Forces one up. Won't go. Coming the other way with it is Stone. He penetrates all the way to the basket. Layup shot good.
Looked like the parting of the Red Sea there on the defense for the Vikings as they had a breakdown.
Vikings trying to force one ahead and nearly turn it over. Just deflected out of bounds.
16-15. Our score, Ripley up one with 29 seconds to go here in the first period play.
21, Christian Lacey at the stop.
Lacey will check in for White. With 29 seconds to go here in the quarter. Vikings lead it by a point. Bumpus off to Ramsey. Tough pass. Turnover Vikings. Ball deflected out of bounds by Isaiah Castle when they call him for a foul.
Good hustle by Casto going after that loose ball. Just got himself underneath of the Scott player. Rolled him up and the official calls the foul on Casto.
Not many fouls being called here. Watch Carden, he checks back into the ball game. Luke comes out. Caden Hall comes back in for him. 23 seconds remaining in the period. Vikings lead it by a point, 16-15. Sester back out top to Sharps. Near side to Stone, 8 seconds. 5 seconds. Sester with it, penetrates. Reverses it out to Sharps. In the corner to Carden for three. In and out, no good. He wanted a foul call, didn't get it. And the Vikings will go to the second period, leading by one, 16-15 here from the Health Center. More Viking basketball after this on C98, The Bull. The Vikings will have it here to begin the second period, leading it 16-15. Profit with it. Back into the ball game for the Vikings. They go in the far corner to Profit. He'll shoot a pull-up shot. Good.
He's got that little mid-range jumper going so far tonight here, Brian. So that's a step up in the scoring a little bit.
18-15, the Vikings grab a three-point advantage here. Penetration by Dolan, has it deflected. Nearly stolen. Now Stone with it. They yo-yo around and reset the offense back out on the perimeter. Harden in there, back to the starters. Reverses it back out to White. White penetrates, has it deflected out of bounds, and he may have been fouled, Jeff, but it's for the Vikings.
They are letting them play here again tonight, Brian.
Three foul calls.
We've had the advantage.
3 foul calls the entire ball game. So a little arm was grabbed there, but the Vikings got corner with it. Profit. Nice pass to Hall, and Hall lays it up and in. Hall with 6 points tonight, Caden Profit.
And because he was able to knock down a couple early, Brian, it drew the defense to him, and Hall was wide open underneath. Good look.
20 to 15, largest advantage for the Vikings. Good drive by Carden. He got some contact, didn't get the call. He's starting to get a little frustrated. They pass ahead to Hall. He can't finish. Rebounded by Stone. Here come the Skyhawks rather the other way. Stone, spin move in the paint, a beauty. Wow, what a spin move and a finish by Landon Stone, Jeff.
Sure was. He was able to get that move and seal Luke Johnson away from him so he couldn't get to the ball, laid it up and good.
Went up on the other side of the rim there to protect the shot blocker. And as Profit goes all the way to the basket, he's dicing up that defense. 10 points for Caden Profit. Back to a 5-point Viking advantage, 22-17.
Wow.
I think Dolan thought he was getting some contact, no call. 22-17. Down the block to Johnson. Power move, little drop step. And that can't be stopped, Jeff, if the Vikings want to do that all night.
They got no answer for that, partner. You're right. And if they're not going to call those bumps, now they do.
And Luke's got to be careful. That's his first personal, but you don't want to be picking up fouls 15 feet from the basket if you're 6'10".
Not with a night like he has going thus far.
So Stone checks out, Setzer checks in. White passes off to Dolan in the corner to Gator for 3.
Nope.
That one's too strong. And a nice rebound just out of there by Kevin White. They go back in the corner for another 3. And how often do you see that? You get 2 opportunities at it on one trip and you get a 3 out of it.
And the guy that got the big rebound got the big shot also.
Good hustle there. And a great tie-up, Jeff, there by Reese Carden. And the Vikings turn it back over.
Sharps returns for the Skyhawks.
Sharps checks in, Carden checks out. And it has been a constant turnstile of substitutions here at the scorer's table.
Profit goes out. Good comes back in for the Vikings. And Profit looking a little winded. He's played a heck of a ball game thus far.
24-20. Vikings lead it. Chester drive in the corner. Here's a 3 on the way. Good. Sharps.
And evidently, that's what they can do. But you notice they don't hesitate, Brian. They go into that weave, and they're coming off of those screens, and they're looking to score immediately.
Fun offense to watch, Jeff, especially when you got some guys that can fill it up. Here's Bumpus for 3. Got it. Shane Bumpus, his second 3-pointer of the season. Give the assist to Isaiah Casto. Vikings back up by 4. A drive by Setzer. A lot of contact, no call. Luke with the rebound.
That just stood his ground. You know, I think Coach Ballard wants a call on that, but there was nothing really there.
Good, strong drive by Good. He can't get it to drop, and Setzer comes out with the rebound.
Helter Skelter pace. Shot in the corner.
Shot by Dolan, no good, and it'll go to the Vikings.
If anybody has struggled here tonight for the Skyhawks, has been Dolan, as he'll come out of the ball game. He's going to be replaced by Stone. But wow, Brian, what a pace up and down the court. 27-23, our score. Ripley leads Scott. 4:09 to go here in the second period.
We'll be back right after this on T98. In this ball game, they're on pace for 32 three-point shots here this evening.
They are not bashful at all, are they, partner? And you just wonder at this pace, what do other teams do late in the fourth period if they can keep this up for 3 solid quarters and then get into the fourth period?
Stone crossover out to Gator, now right of the circle with Sharps. His three's too strong. Rebounded by Bumpus. So the Vikings a tie-up in the backcourt, and Shane makes the heads-up play, takes a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Vikings hang on to a 27-23 advantage. 3:53 to go first half.
Now some of Scott's players kind of tugging at their shorts, bent over. If they played the same way last night, back-to-back, you'll get a little leg weary, especially when you're on the road.
Now just think, they've now shot 17 three-pointers here in this first half. If they've made 4 of them, let's say they've made 8 of them. I mean, this looks like a totally different basketball game.
Yeah, and they've had some that looked really good when they left their hands that didn't fall, and they've had some that didn't look good at all, but they just keep firing them.
The Vikings, on the other hand, Jeff, 1 of 2 from three-point. I think that's a number we can all live with. We don't want to see this team launching up too many three-point shots with that advantage they have in the post. As the Skyhawks turn the pressure up, and Isaiah tries to throw it ahead. He picks the wrong guy, throws cross-court to Hall, and he had Luke here near side.
Yeah, they did a good job that time. Setzer did as far as reading Casto's eyes and seeing where that ball was going.
Good gets it in. Bumpus gets a look at another three. This one's short. Rebounded by Sharps.
Here, Coach Parsons immediately when they get the rebound, get back.
Really good defense right there, Jeff, as Caden Hall cordoned off the driving Stone that time and didn't give him any space to shoot the basketball. Forces up a tough shot, and Casto comes out with the rebound. On the other end, Hall reverses to Good. Good back to Casto. He'll get a look at a three. That one's short. Fighting in there for the rebound. Can't come up with it. Gator comes out. Here come the Skyhawks the other way, looking to cut into this 4-point Viking lead. 3 minutes remaining first half. Stone, three, right wing. In and out. Rebounded by Good.
A lot of in and outs here tonight for the Skyhawks.
Bumpus brings his dribble back to Casto. Casto will set the offense. Good with it. Right wing. He'll get a screen from Hall. Crossover. Gets into the paint. Lays it back for Johnson. Now Casto with it. He'll dribble it back out on the wing. To Hall. Down to Luke. And a foul's going to be called on Stone. As Stone's battled in there. He's given up about 12 inches of height there, Jeff.
Yeah, he sure is, and I was watching them earlier in that set, and he's just trying to push Luke up the lane, much like Winfield did the other night. You know, just use your body and your muscles to push the rather slender Johnson right up the lane.
Here's Isaiah Brown checking in. Pretty good-looking kid. Got a little more size to him. Profit gets a three on the way. That one is too strong. Rebounded by White. Skyhawks still trailing by 4 into the front court. Back to Stone, top circle. Penetrates, spin move, kicks it out to Setzer. Now back in the corner to White. White penetrates, dribbles it off of Luke Johnson's foot, and they will inbound under their own basket.
Good job by Bumpus that time, forcing him baseline. He knew Luke was there, and Luke played it really well. He hesitated and just waited and then went and doubled.
Inbounds to Gator, guarded by Good. Stone with it. Right wing, he'll go to work on Luke. Nice job by Cade Good to get the tie-up. It was a quick call, but really good hands there by Cade Good.
Good job going down there and digging it out. If you notice, they had a lane on the right side. They want to take everything to the middle of the floor, though, it seems like, Brian.
Yeah, they like to get in the middle of the defense and then kick it out to those shooters. White hassling Profit. Profit's shot too strong. Good rebound by Johnson. Back to Bumpus. Penetrates baseline, has his shot blocked, and then knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Vikings.
You know, we saw this Scott Skyhawk team play football this year. Very similar, Brian. You know, of course, it's football and basketball, but size. they didn't have any size on the football field, but they were scrappy as all get out, and we're seeing the same thing here tonight. On both ends, they are very, very scrappy.
Vikings get it in, bounded deep in the backcourt. Prophet will bring it across the timeline. Set the offense from the far wing. Good with it between the circles. Back to Prophet. And they go down the block, and then that's a ticky-tack foul call there on Isaiah Brown.
Yeah, the way this game's been called, that's nothing. And Luke was planting himself down there in that low post.
Didn't appear to be much there. Vikings beneficiary of that. Prophet, far corner. He's replaced by Bumpus. Back to Prophet, right of the circle. Now he swings across court to Good. Good picks up his dribble. Back to Bumpus between the circles. Crossover, gets a screen from Luke. Now drops it back to Luke. Now swings it near side to Good. Good being hassled by Dolan. Pretty good defense there by the Skyhawks. 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Back out to Bumpus. Bumpus gets a screen from Ramsey. Prophet with it. 52 seconds. Picks up his dribble off to Ramsey. Ramsey drives down the lane. He's going to be called for the offensive foul. And that is a good job there, Jeff, by Gator to set up and take that offensive foul. And you can see it coming 10 miles away. And that's what we were talking about early in the game, is taking too much time off the clock and then
they're getting impatient. Yeah, you could see the impatience. Somebody was wanting to shoot it. They just didn't know who.
And is that a turnover? No, it was knocked out.
Yeah, it looked like a back tip that time.
Isaiah Castro back in the game, 38 seconds. There's Dolan as well in there for the Skyhawks. 27-23, low scoring game here at the Health Center. Stone loves that spin move, reverses it back out to Gator. Gator hassled by Prophet. Now Stone, he gets a three right wing. That's too strong. Ramsey keeps it alive, and the Vikings have it. Good, 17 seconds. He's been held scoreless here tonight in this first half. He's being hassled by Kevin White. They go to Prophet, left wing, trying to get it down the block to Luke. And Luke looked like maybe he was being held. Couldn't get to it.
Good observation, Barger. He was being held. That's why he couldn't get off the spot to go get that ball. Prophet, I believe, had the entry pass, and it was right there where it needed to be. He just couldn't get loose to go get it. 7 seconds.
Gator gives off to White. He'll penetrate right down the paint. Shot blocked by Prophet, but he's going to be called for the foul. And White's going to be at the line with 1.5 seconds to go here in the first half. It's a chance to cut this lead in half. Kevin White with 5 points here tonight.
At the Skyhawk line, shooting 2.
Shot in and out. They had a lot of those here tonight.
He must have tightened that rim up a little bit between our last game and this one, because that thing has been very tight tonight.
He gets one, 27-24, 1.5 to go. So White will come out. And in will be Isaiah Brown. Ramsey with it, back to Castro. Three-quarter court shot, off the rim and no good. And the Vikings will lead here at the half, 27-24. We'll return to Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report right after this on C98. Real quick.
It's the all-new Ripley Vikings collection, available only at SwiftTeesApparel.com.
Like what you see? You can become a sponsor too. It's easy. Go to mtmedia304.com, then click on the Support the Streams button. Choose your level of sponsorship and you're ready to go. Mountaintop Media, your vision through our lens.
think they're going to stop. That's the way they play. They are pedal to the metal from the beginning. Push the basketball. Look for your shot. Don't hesitate. Either get it to the rim or kick it. What I really like about them, though, is they share the basketball. And the guard that is penetrating does try to get to the rim, but if he can't, he gets his feet in the paint and then kicks it. And they have, as you said, gotten a bunch of wide open looks here tonight. Thankfully, they haven't went down, and the Vikings are able to have this 3-point lead, 27-24 at the half.
Let's put this in perspective. In 4.5 games, the Vikings have shot 44 threes. In half a game this evening, the Skyhawks have shot 19, which is kind of hard to believe when you think about the numbers that they're throwing out there. But the turnovers are down today. They've done a good job. The Vikings only 7 turnovers so far here this evening, and they've forced the ball in the paint maybe as well as they have all season long down to Luke. He's 4 of 6 from the floor here with 8 points and 5 rebounds. He's played a really nice game so far. I would like to see him get it more, Jeff. I would like to see maybe 10 shot attempts in that first half.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, that turnover stat, Brian, is surprising. With the pace of this basketball game and the way this thing's went up and down, you would think there would be a lot more turnovers than there have been. But the Vikings have done a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball, even with the Skyhawk pressure. And they have been able to successfully get the ball to Luke. But as you said, there were times when they could have gotten it in there a little bit more, and we've got to do that because he had the hot hand early, and he was wanting the basketball. We got to be able to keep feeding it in there and feeding it in there. Prophet did a great job of penetrating, pulling up, shooting the mid-range jumper, and knocking that down. He just got a little winded there in the first half and had to come out. And when he came back in, he couldn't get it going again. But look for him to be a factor also in this Viking offense.
Had I told you before this game at halftime that Cade Good would be 0 of 7 from the floor with 4 rebounds, he's yet to turn the ball over. He's just missing shots tonight and be scoreless, and we would have the lead. I would have been pleased with that stat because his shots are going to fall eventually. They're just not falling in that first half.
And that sometimes happens. First starting opportunity, as we said, maybe not as loose as he has been coming off the bench. When you come off the bench, you're able to see some things, how the game's being played, how the game's being called, officiated, how the tempo is up and down. He was subjected to that right off the bat here tonight. Start coming up short a little bit, you start thinking about it. Then you shoot a couple and they're a little long. He's just got to play like he's always played. He's too good a player to let this get in his head. Just continue to play like you played. Play loose. When the shot's there, take it. You don't have to force anything just because you're in the starting lineup. And he'll learn. He's a smart basketball player, Brian. He's very gifted, very skilled. And he'll learn from this. Now, second half, we'll see how much he learned from that first half experience.
Pretty good half of basketball from Caden Hall, the best he's had so far this season. He had 6 points in the first half, couple of rebounds. And if you can get 6 points and a couple of rebounds each half out of him, that's going to help your basketball team tremendously.
Started out with a bang. Got the first 4 points for the Vikings. Was in great position. Was moving on the offensive end and created a few things. They did start coming out on him a little bit more, pressuring him when he did get the ball. And if you, like the Skyhawks play defense, if Caden's got to put it on the floor, that's not his game. He's got to get it in the post or get it in transition or spot-up shooting. So Scott adjusted a little bit there on him and slowed him down a little bit. But, boy, he has played a good game also thus far for the Vikings.
Turnovers have not been a problem in that first half for the Vikings. Neither have free throws. We haven't missed any because we haven't taken any, which I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've seen a Viking team not attempt a free throw in a half.
And that's unusual, as physical as this ball game has been, especially when some shots were going up. There was a lot of grabbing, a lot of bumping, but as you said, when you call it both ways, the same way, the kids know that and they can adjust. Now, let's hope the officiating crew hadn't gone in at halftime and say, guys, we don't want this thing to get out of hand. Let's call it a little tighter. And now the kids are confused because you didn't do that in the first half. Let's hope they are consistent all the way through this game. if this is the way they're going to call it.
Jeff will find out when we return. We'll have second half action here from the Health Center. The Vikings lead the Scott Skyhawks 27-24 here. Saturday night basketball in Ripley. We'll return after this on C98, The Bull. Who?
Right here.
Come back to Ripley High School. The second half inbounds is about to be handed to the Skyhawks. They'll have it moving from our right to left. Gator inbounds to Stone. Stone bringing it across the timeline to White in the corner to Cardin. Back to Dolan. He'll penetrate. Left hand shot up. No good. Hall with the rebound.
Good drive that time, but Luke was there to intimidate just a bit. Got that shot off. And here come the Vikings.
Looking to add to this lead. Double team down the block. Good power dribble by Luke. Right hand shot up. Good. They did. I mean, Jeff, there's just not much the Skyhawks can do about it with that size.
No, and it was a great drop step. You saw the one dribble, power dribble, and he was able to knock it down.
White gets a look at the three. It's no good. Luke with the rebound. From the Vikings back the other way. 5-point lead. 7:15 to go. Third period. Luke going to be double teamed. Somebody's open. Tries to get it to Prophet. Prophet can't hang on. And Luke pats himself on the chest and says, my bad.
Yeah, he just needed to let him clear. If he lets him clear, he can dribble it on out to the corner and reset it. And the big man realized it.
Here's Gator. Good strong move. A lot of contact. No call. All kinds of bodies on the floor. Finally, a whistle blows. And that's going to be Caden Prophet, his second, team's first here in the second half. Stone will inbound on the far sideline.
You know, you kind of scratch your head, and that's got to be something. You know, either he's pushing off and clearing out, or somebody knocks him to the floor.
I think he was fouled 3 or 4 times by the Vikings before the foul was actually called.
And I'm a homer, and you know
that's pretty rough there, but they got it right eventually as Cardin, nifty move there off to Gator, up to Stone, straight away, thinks about a long three. Now he'll go back to Gator, he'll let it go from the wing, got it. That's what we fear.
We don't want him heating up. He's been a little off tonight. Just don't get him going.
That's his first bucket of the night, 3 points for Jaron Gator. Casto with it, left of the circle, he'll back it out. looking to get it to Luke. Tries to get over in the corner where he has an angle. He'll penetrate. Nice pass and a great cut from Good to get his first bucket of the night. The Vikings back out by 4.
And in the flow of the game, K. Good gets his first bucket of the night.
Stone pulls up from the elbow, can't connect. Ball tapped out, rebounded by Setzer, and Gator gets a 3 look in the corner. It's no good. And on the floor as Hall ties it up. Should be Viking basketball.
They are a scrappy bunch. I'll say that, outsized, but they just keep on getting after it. But the Vikings come away with a good job by Caden Hall that time using his big body.
If they're going to double team Luke on the block every time, somebody is open. The Vikings have got to find the open player. They find him in Good in the corner this time. He tries to force it down to Johnson, and Luke tries to turn and dunk it, but I think a kick is going to be called.
And that was a fortunate call for the Skyhawks because, as you said, he was unabated to the basket and was going to try to tear the rim down.
Casto inbounds, Good, far corner, penetrates, floater off the back of the rim, no good. And then a frustration foul on Cade.
And that's one that usually goes down for the young man. He's got a really nifty move off that dribble drive and elevates, and just usually it's very soft off that backboard.
Strong freshman. He's a pretty strong kid. He's having a rough night tonight on the offensive end. He's got to keep shooting, as does Carden. His shot's off. Rebounded by Casto. He'll bring it up the far sideline. Try to force it into Luke and turn it over. Stolen by Stone, and here he comes in transition. And there was a good job by Isaiah Casto, and that was probably, Jeff, a tough call on Stone. Stone really got his body out of the way a little bit of that, but I mean a good flop and a good sail there by Isaiah Casto, and as we've mentioned a million times, they want to call that and they're going to call it. Kevin White checks in.
Stone just took it too deep. I mean, that's why Casto was able to get that call, because he just took it too deep, out of control. And the officials, as we have seen, love making that call.
31-27, another slow start to the quarter here for both teams. Good with it in the far corner, looking to get it to Johnson. He'll dribble it back out, left of the circle. Picks up his dribble off the Prophet. Prophet, stutter step. Hall with it at the elbow. Spin move into the paint. Nifty move by the big man. He can't finish. And it's out of bounds to the Skyhawks.
Wow. I thought that was tipped by the Skyhawks, and their coaching staff did too. They were yelling, get it, as they let the ball drop. They had a better angle than we did.
Setzer with it. He'll penetrate. Wild shot, too strong. Luke high for the rebound. From the Vikings. Back the other way. A lot of missed shots here this evening, both ways. Castro has it deflected out of bounds by Setzer. And Jeff, you can't yo-yo the ball in front of these defenders. They got quick hands, and they're going to try to make a play on the ball.
Yeah, they're very active out there, Brian. You're exactly right.
Profit with it off the inbounds. Very closely by Carden. Nice crossover. And a pull-up in the paint. Profit, he is...
And that's been his game tonight. Getting the defender back on his heels, pulling out and shooting that mid-range jumper.
He leads away for the Vikings with 12. Gator with it. Hassled by Profit. Passes off to White. White penetrates. Back out to Carden. In the corner. Sets her for 3. That one is off the rim. I thought it was going to fall 2 or 3 times. Luke comes out of there with the rebound. Pass off to Luke, and here's a charge going the other way. You saw it coming a mile away, and a nice job setting up to take that charge.
And boy, that was a big possession. The Vikings up 6, 33-27, halfway through this period, Brian. And if they could have got it to 8, they might have got it to 10. But boy, the charge call, and that's going to be number 2 on Johnson.
Profit out, bump us in. Clock turning, 3:44 to go here in the third period. Vikings by 6, largest lead of the night. Shot in the near corner 3, and that's cut in half as Landon Stone cans the 3. 33-30, Vikings lead it. Casto, right hand dribble, picks up his dribble, passes to Hall. Hall penetrates, tries to float it up for Johnson, and they throw it away. That's the right idea, though, Jeff. That was the right play.
Throw it to the rim, though. Throw it up to where it stays in bounds. A little bit behind him, but the great idea as Caden Hall saw it, just couldn't connect.
33-30, Vikings lead, 3:15, third period. Drive by Dolan, throws it to the student section, and they're going to say it was tipped by the Vikings.
They run a little down screen after they pass it to the wing, and that clears it out up at the top of the key, and those kids are just trying to get their feet in the paint and kick it to the wide-open wing player.
Gator penetrates, finds Dolan. Dolan all the way into the paint. A good, strong take. Can't finish. Rebounded by Luke.
Dolan's had a tough night. He's got to the rim multiple times and hasn't been able to finish.
Johnson's length has bothered them around the basket. He's affected shots without blocking them, and a floater by Good. I'm not sure that wasn't a pass.
It was a pass.
And Luke, are they going to give it to him? They're going to call an offensive foul.
And the Academy Award goes to, but they love to make that call, Brian.
They're going to call it if they get the opportunity.
Number 3 on Big Luke Johnson.
So that'll bring the junior varsity superstar in, and Brady Anderson and Stone with Luke out of the basketball game, takes it right to the bucket, lays it in, 1-point game.
And they have no fear now of the shot blocker, the rim protector, Johnson out of the game.
Lays off for Ramsey. Good strong take. Shot won't fall. Rebounded by Dolan. They come the other way. Gator quickly attacks the basket. Can't finish. Vikings dodge the board. They're going right to the front of the hoop now with Luke out of the ball game. Bumpus throws it away. Stolen by Stone. Vikings playing into their hands now. Up and down the court it goes. Stone, a beautiful move into the paint. Too strong. Ramsey with the rebound. Slow down.
Fortunately for the Vikings.
Good. Strong take. Can't finish. Dolan in the rebound. Reverses it back out to White. He'll shoot a 3 left of the circle, and it's good.
And that puts the Skyhawks up 35-33, Brian. This pace is just what the Skyhawks want the Vikings to do, as you said. And we have no rim protector right now, and they're showing no fear of taking it straight to the rim.
11-6 quarter here in favor of the Skyhawks. 32nd timeout, and they're going to roll the dice, Jeff, and bring Luke back into the ball game. He's going to have to play smart here. Make sure he doesn't pick up a cheap foul. And you look at him with 3 fouls right now, and you think about that foul 15 feet from the basket when he picked up his first one. That foul early in the game looms large right now.
Coach Parsons could feel the momentum changing in this game, Brian, and he just had to do something, and the something is putting Caden Hall and Luke Johnson back into the lineup for the Vikings to try to stem this tide. Skyhawks are feeling pretty good about themselves right now with 3 fouls on the big man. They are going to the rim at will, and it's created a ability to speed this game up even more, and the Vikings just weren't ready for it.
So they're going to have to gather themselves quickly as all the momentum right now in the favor of the Skyhawks. Set the lineups. Johnson, Profit, Bumpus, Casto, Hall for the Vikings. Gator, Sharps, Stone, White, and Setzer for the Skyhawks with 1:40 to go here in the third period. Vikings trail by a deuce. Very close to a 5-second call as Casto inbounds, gets it to Hall. He'll shoot a long 2, in and out. Not what they wanted, I'm sure. Rebounded by Setzer. Stone quickly in the front court, forces it up, no good.
And it's really what Coach Ballard wants them to do. That wasn't a good shot, but he wants them to get down there and fire it.
35-33, Vikings trail. Casto drives in, throws it out, nearly throws it away as Profit runs it down. Bumpus between the circles has Setzer guarding him. Looking for a screen. Now in the corner to Casto. They look to get it to Luke. Back to Bumpus. They're daring us to shoot a 3 as they crash in on Luke. Pass off to Hall. Hall back to Bumpus. Straightaway 3. That's too strong. And Gator saves it.
Wow.
Good athletic play that time by Jaron Gator.
He missed the Rebound, but then saved it.
In the corner, 3 no good by Sharps. It was affected, Jeff, that time by Luke without being blocked. 35-33, still your score. Profit turns it over, sets her with the steal. Vikings back on defense. Stone, 3 in transition. Too short. Hall can't hang on. Setzer gets the rebound. Let's get a look at another 3. This one's rebounded by Casto.
Wow, catch your breath, partner.
And a foul is going to be called on the wing.
7.2 seconds to go in this quarter. Scott leads 35-33. Pick up their second team foul. First one on the point guard Gator.
6 seconds, Profit. Got to get into the front court. 4 seconds, gets a screen from Hall. 2 seconds, 1, gets it off just in time. Too strong. Shot won't fall. And the Vikings will go to the break between the third and fourth period, trailing by a bucket. When we return, fourth quarter action after this. Skyhawks 35, Vikings 33.
We only had 6. An 11-6 quarter.
100% in the favor of the Skyhawks right now,
But
with this pace.
how many shots were taken? And how quickly were they taken?
Very quickly. A 2-point lead. Skyhawks have it. Basket to our left. White will shoot a contested 3. That's short. Rebounded by Dolan. Killing the Vikings in those long rebounds off those missed 3s. Stone penetrates. Good defense by Hall to cut him off. Shot's too strong. Hall with the rebound.
And he's been in there a bunch, and the same result, thankfully, with that little short jumper.
Bumpus has it for the Vikings. Johnson, Profit, Bumpus, good, and Hall on the floor. Good now, right wing. Looking to get it down on the block. Yo-yoing with the defender. We had Luke cutting back door.
Got him now.
Bumpus gets it down to Luke. He's double teamed, reverses it back out to Profit. In the corner to Good. Good passes up on the 3, and he travels.
He's got to pull the trigger on that. I know he's a little hesitant. He struggled a little bit from the perimeter, but that's his shot, and it was set up perfectly.
Casto will check in. Bumpus will come out.
Good job by Bumpus.
7:08 to go in this one. Vikings trailing by a bucket in a very low-scoring game. Skyhawks with 92 points last night in Point Pleasant, sitting on 35 right now. Just under 7 minutes remaining. Dolan takes it in strong, and he gets Isaiah Casto in the air, and Isaiah picks up his second personal. And to the line will go Braxton Dolan.
15 foul on the Vikings. Only 2 on the Skyhawks. That could come into play late in this ballgame also.
Dolan, free throw off the mark.
They're having the same struggles at the foul line that the Vikings have had thus far this season.
That one is off the mark as well. Kept alive by Hall, ran down by Casto, and a team that shoots the ball as well as them. Can't understand why they would be struggling from the line. The Vikings turn it over, and Stone gets an easy bucket.
We got to slow it down, play our pace, get under control.
4-point Scott advantage. Their largest of the night, 37-33. Good with it. Gets a screen from Johnson, baseline, cut off, turns it over.
Got in no man's land.
White all the way down the court, and a nice job by Castro to set up and draw the charge. Offensive foul on White. Charge taken by Castro.
Very
gracious.
Vocal Skyhawk crowd with us here tonight. Not big in numbers, but very boisterous.
Not too pleased with that one. 37-33. Pretty good crowd here tonight, Jeff. You mentioned that for the COVID restrictions and the social distancing and all that. Place seems to be pretty well filled up to whatever capacity we're allowed to be at. The Vikings nearly turn another one over. Profit. Left-hand dribble. He has Carden guarding him. That's a mismatch from Caden. We got to clear out and let him try to get to the basket. He's got a speed advantage in that one. Luke with it out on the perimeter. Good hands by White, nearly stripping that one away. Castro's three, no good, and the putback by the big man.
And he dove right to the basket after he gave the ball up to Castro, and it was the correct move to make.
Back to a 2-point game. Luke with 12 now. Here's a three on the way. Good. That's the scary part, Jeff, is we
don't want him heating up, I tell you that.
Allowed them to hang around in this game when they were not shooting it well. Now they're back out up by 5, 40-35.
Getting ready to get the point guard put back in the game, too.
Vikings throw it away. 40-35. Here they come the other way with it. Setzer penetrates into the paint, has it tipped away. Dolan gathers it in. Back out top to White in the corner. Carden for three. Got it.
They do not want him to start getting hot. He is very streaky, and he's got a good shot, the sophomore from Scott High School.
30-second timeout. 43-35. It's now an 8-point advantage. They're now 9 of 32 from the three-point line. Here in the second half, Jeff, they're 5 of 13. So they're starting to heat up, as we talked about. And Carden with 15 points, he leads all scorers.
And again, the pace of play has come into play. If the Vikings need to slow it down, we still have 5 minutes to go here in this ball game, plenty of time. But we can't turn the ball over, especially live ball turnovers lead to runouts, because they're not going to slow down. Whether it's a make or a miss, they're coming at you.
It's up to us to slow down at this point, Jeff, as the Vikings, again, with some silly turnovers and some untimely shots, which sometimes those forced shots are almost as bad as a turnover.
Bumpus back in the game for the Vikings, replacing Profit.
Still time left. Vikings trailing by 8 here. Good penetrates, lays it off for Hall. Great pass and a good finish by Caden Hall as he has 8 points here this evening. Back to a 6-point game.
Good timeout by Coach Parsons.
Stone with it. No penetrate, spin move. Nice up and under. Luke there to defend it. They reverse it out to White for three. It's no good. Luke, good strong rebound. He went high for that one. Vikings chance to cut back into this lead. Castro penetrates. Loses the handle, gathers it back in, takes it to the bucket and scores it. 4-point game. Vikings back alive offensively. Carden forces one, turns it over. Stolen by Bumpus. Vikings. Chance to solve this into a 2-point or even a 1-point lead with a 3-pointer. We'll slow it down. Castro looking for a screen from Luke. He'll penetrate right side, picks up his dribble, and a foul is going to be called on Kevin White. That's his second, team's fourth. Vikings will inbound on the baseline under their own basket. Bumpus has it in the corner, near corner, looking to get it to Luke. He's double teamed. They're going to leave Isaiah Castro wide open in the wing. He passes back out to Hall. Hall over to Good, in the corner to Bumpus. Bumpus penetrates baseline. Throws it up there, can't get it to fall, and out there comes Gator.
Tough shot.
Not the shot, I think, that they were looking for. I think he was trying to get it to Luke, and then all the way to the bucket goes Stone.
And Stone has been penetrating all night long. Finally gets that one to go. It extends the lead back out to 6. 3:16 to go on a running clock here at the Health Center.
45-39. Good penetrates off the Bumpus. Bumpus back to Good on the wing, trying to steal Johnson. And Luke clearing some space, and they're going to call a foul on Kevin White, his third.
Now both teams with 5 team fouls. 3:06 to go. Vikings trail 45-39. Inbounding the ball under their own basket.
Prophet and Ramsey check in. Prophet's been instant offense for the Vikings here this evening. Bumpus harassed by Gator out on the wing. Off to Ramsey, who just checked in. Now they find Casto, 3 on the way. Got it! Isaiah Casto brings the Vikings back to within a couple.
And they've been letting him stay loose, and he drills it.
3 on the way from Stone, no good. Casto with the rebound. From the Vikings, back down 3. 2:30 to go in this one. Isaiah drives, lays it up for Luke. Luke double team, spin move. They're going to call him for the offensive foul. And he did. It was an offensive foul, and that'll be his 4th. He's frustrated. He has so many people hanging on him.
You know, he wants to play strong. He wants the power. He just got to know what this team is doing. And they are setting that thing up. They're going to flop it or take the hit every time.
Dolan into the game. Here's a White 3 on the way, no good. Gets his own rebound after the Vikings couldn't hang on to it. Now Gator gets a look at a 3, and that's a killer.
Unbelievable.
48-46, back to a 6-point game. You can't give second chance opportunities to 3-point shooting teams. They're going to make you pay. Scott did that there to the Vikings. Prophet to Bumpus, got away with the travel. He's going to shoot a long 2. It's short. Stone with the rebound. And a tie-up, a quick tie-up. Good job by Isaiah Casto, Jeff, to be there and get that tie-up.
I think the ball's going to stay with Scott, but I think Scott also wants a timeout. No, I'm sorry, it's Coach Parsons wants the timeout. Full timeout.
Full timeout. Let's take one, 2. 48-42, Vikings trail, minute 49 in this ball game. More of Viking basketball after this on C98, the Bowl. Shooting both ways, but the Skyhawks have started to heat up here in the second half, and the Vikings just have not been able to match them offensively with some silly turnovers and some forced shots and untimely moments.
I was a little tired when I came in, but I'm kind of jittery right now. This thing has been up and down and wide open. Fun to watch, but wow.
More fun if you're able to find a way to get a win here tonight, but they've got their work cut out for them. Joey gets it in off the inbounds, lays it up and in.
Vikings able to use their size advantage as Ramsey powers that thing up with the left hand.
Back to 4. Gator penetrates. Back out to Dolan between the circles.
See how patient Scott will be here, Brian.
Well, they've taken about as much clock here in this possession as they have in any possession all game. They play quick. White with it. Off to Arden, now Stone. This is danger zone though, Jeff. This is when you do silly things and turn it over when you get out of character. Just like that, stolen. Here come the Vikings. Casto the other way. Fouled, no call, and a late whistle.
Whoa.
Very late whistle. Isaiah's going to go to the line. The chance, Jeff, to pull us back to within a couple. Found Gator.
You said it, a very, very late call.
You get out of character and you don't run your normal offense, you see those kind of things happen.
We saw it the other night when Point Pleasant, was going for that last shot. And we're trying to get it into Hunter Bush. And they ended up forcing it, and the Vikings turned it over when Johnson hit that big shot, and the score is just about the same.
Isaiah, first one hits every angle of the rim, drops in. Second one, nothing but net, and it's a 2-point advantage for the Skyhawks with 60 seconds remaining in this one. Here's White off to Stone. Vikings man-to-man defense. Dolan with it, picks up his dribble. Back to Gator.
And when they get the ball to Stone, they're able to pull Johnson clear out on the perimeter.
Stone penetrates, cut off by Hall and Johnson. Reverse it back out to Gator. Now they pass off to
Right down to foul.
Dolan, and they foul Dolan. As you
He has struggled from the foul line tonight. Shot 2 just a few minutes ago. Both of them were way too strong.
1-1 for Dolan. Caden picks up his second personal, and he calmly steps up and cans the first one.
As bad as he looked on those other two, that one looks smooth as silk, Brian.
Looked like a seasoned pro on that one. Second one, too strong. Rebounded by Casto. And the Vikings trailing by 3, 49-46. Will they try to extend this game with multiple possessions, and they turn it over. Stone with the steal. He lays it up and in. That is a backbreaker for the Vikings. Now trailing by 5, 51-46, and Gator nearly.
I was just getting ready to say we do not need a 3, but now we most definitely do with only 24 seconds to go. 51-46, trailing by 5.
Untimely turnover there by the freshman. Tough to make that pass, Jeff, from the wing back to the top of the circle when you got a defense that's overplaying.
Yeah, they're just so aggressive and quick to the ball. We haven't really talked about that. They not only play at a very fast pace, they've got some quicks out there at all positions. They can get by you off the dribble. They can overplay and get those steals just like you saw. And they've got very quick releases on the three-point shots. So nice team here tonight. A different style than we've seen. This is, I guess you would consider this, Vince Reif will tell us, Southern West Virginia basketball.
A possible
and they just get
opponent.
up and down and play, and these kids play like this all the time. If you've ever been down there in the Logan area, down in Boone County, Chapman, but they love getting up and down. And that's exactly the way this team plays.
Vince liked to shoot it.
Oh, I remember when he could get up and down, too.
Played a little old man basketball a few times with Vince.
He's like the rest of us. His up and down doesn't get up and down as much anymore, but great guy.
Get up and down out of the easy chair.
Out of the golf cart now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to get up and down.
Hopefully. So the Vikings trailing by 5 here, 51-46, running out of time. Skyhawks turn the pressure up, 20 seconds. Profit off to Good across the timeline, 15 seconds. And nearly turned over, and they do. Another turnover for the Vikings, another run out for Stone, and that'll do it. Vikings are going to lose one here tonight. They're going to lose their second in a row. Dropped to 2 and 3 on the season. 53-46 is your final score here from the Health Center. The Vikings will need to regroup quickly. They'll be back at it next week. On Tuesday, I believe, we'll return with the Johnson Insurance Agency post-game report after this, right here on C98, The Bull.
Good night.
It's the all-new Ripley Vikings collection, available only at SwiftTeesApparel.com.
Vikings had 6 of 17 from behind the arc. They only had 5 turnovers in the second half. That's what kept them hanging around in this ball game, was a 3-point shot. And the Vikings couldn't get any space in that first half when they were missing. And when they started making them in the second half, we simply had no answer.
Yeah, they stepped up and knocked down some big shots, Brian. You know, we talked about it early in the game. With that kind of pace, what would it be like late in the fourth period? And we kind of ran out of gas, turned the ball over 2 or 3 times in a row, gave up easy buckets when the game was within reach. So, as you said, a tough loss. I think they made 10 threes, you said. So 30 of their 53 points came from the three-point line, and that's just their style. They get after you, they hustle, they take the ball to the hoop. A very, very roughly officiated game tonight. I don't mean that the officials were rough. I mean that they let them play, but they continued to call it that way the whole game. And, you know, so both teams were pretty much equalized. The fouls, total team fouls, stayed about the same. But we just could not get over the hump. And when Luke Johnson went to the bench with his 3rd foul, you could see the Skyhawks get a little spring in their step, Brian. And just too much, too many turnovers, too much pressure.
Plus 13 on the boards for the Vikings. That was a number we knew we had to have. We needed to dominate the glass. We did a good job of that. The problem was, Jeff, we gave up some untimely offensive rebounds to the Skyhawks, which led to kickouts for open threes. I think that happened 3 or 4 times. You're looking at 9 to 12 points in those particular instances when you lose a 7-point basketball game. You're sitting here and you look back at that on the film. Got to get those loose balls, and I realize that it's a little more difficult to get those rebounds on those long threes that are missed because you can't really gauge where it's going. Somebody's got to get it.
And how many times have you seen that at all levels? The
Constantly.
second and third shot opportunities usually end up with a dagger.
Yep.
And that's exactly what the Skyhawks did. They've got a good basketball team. They've got a lot of juniors. The sophomore Reese Carden is a very nice player. He hit some big threes late in the game that kind of gave them the gap that they needed to pull this thing out.
21 made baskets for the Vikings, 21 turnovers. They had 14 turnovers in the second half. They had the lead at halftime because they were taking care of the basketball. They only had 7 at the break, and it just things unraveled midway through that fourth period, and the Vikings couldn't get themselves slowed down on the offensive end, and what happened, you talk about it, live ball turnovers turn into baskets on the other end. I can think of Landon Stone with 3 or 4 of those, and he led teams in scoring tonight with 19 points.
And let's give him a tip of the cap. I mean, he was battling down inside, very undersized against Luke Johnson. He was fronting him. He was holding him. He was behind him. He was driving the ball to the basket, and he got rewarded with a couple of those turnovers by being in the right place at the right time, getting the run out and getting the layup. But that young man battled all night long. And let's give Coach Ballard a tip of the hat also. He knew they were undersized. He doubled Luke at every opportunity. They would let either Casto or Prophet kind of run loose a little bit on the offensive end, and just he picked his poison and decided that we're not going to let the big man beat us. We're going to make a guard make shots, and it worked out for them tonight.
Good night for Luke, Jeff. He only ended up with 12 points. I think he had 12 at the half. But he ended the ball game with 13 rebounds. So he did a lot to keep this team alive, keep the missed shots alive. Only 8 shots for Luke tonight, and I realized he was being doubled and tripled. We were having a hard time getting the basketball to him. Got to figure out a way. We got a little break here, Jeff. The boys don't play again until Thursday night down at Lincoln County. Got to figure out a way to get number 1 a few more touches.
Yeah, you mentioned that early in the ball game, Brian, and our guards have really got to work on that. Knowing when he's open and when he's not. A lot of times they'll look at him and look at him and look at him, and he's wide open. Throw it to the offhand, let him go get it, but get the ball to him in a place where he can score it. We force it sometimes, and that's just not his game. And it gives the defense an opportunity to adjust and draw those charges. So we'll learn. Our kids are giving great effort. Just couldn't get shots to go tonight. Got in a little bit of foul trouble, cost us late in the game, and then the turnover bug, as you said.
We'll put this one in the rearview mirror, Jeff, as the Viking boys team has a little break. They won't be back in action until Thursday night down at Lincoln County. We'll have that one on the air for you right here on C98 The Bull. It'll be a 7:30 tip-off. We'll be on the air at 7 p.m. So a little time for Coach Parsons to work out some kinks on the offensive end and give these kids a little time to maybe get a day off tomorrow and maybe get their legs back.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough stretch here. I mean, they played some pretty good opponents in Point Pleasant, Winfield, and Scott back to back, and that'll take the legs out from under you. Yeah, these kids need to just relax a little bit, get their legs back. This was they expended a lot of energy in this ball game, Brian, and they're going to need to get plenty of fluids into you tonight. Try to get some sleep. I know this kind of loss is heartbreaking for players, and you lay in bed and you think about it all night long. What if this would have happened? What if that would have happened? They got to put it behind them, as you say, put it in your rearview mirror, and get ready for Lincoln County.
You and I will get ready for Monday night. We'll have Lady Viking basketball right here on C98. Lady Vikings will host the Lady Red Devils from Ravenswood. Coach John Kennedy's team be looking to get back on track Monday evening after a loss down at Wayne this afternoon, so we'll be happy to bring that to you. The tip time is set for 7:30, or inbounds time, I guess I should say, set for 7 o'clock on Monday. Thank you, Rube. So we will be on the air at 6:30 Monday evening for Lady Viking Hoops. We say thank you to all of our sponsors all season long of Viking basketball right here on C98 The Bull. Special thanks to Rick Shannon, our station manager, and Jennifer Redmond back at Viking Control. Again, your final score from the Health Center: the Scott Skyhawks 53, your Vikings 46. For Jeff Waybright, I'm Brian Johnson. Have a great night. God bless.
Fire!